Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you how to do a long tail cast on. If you're new to knitting, this is a great first cast on to learn, and it works well for lots of projects. If you're working a pattern and it doesn't specify a certain cast on, this is a great one to use. The first thing you want to do is you need to figure out how much yarn you need for your tail to cast on the stitches. And to do that, I like to take my needle and I like to wrap my yarn around. So say you have to cast on 10 stitches, I would just wrap my yarn around my needle 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'll just let it fall off my needle. And then this would be a very good estimate of how much yarn you'll need. But I always like to give myself just a little bit extra, just in case. So here's where I would make my slip knot. That's your first step. So I like to draw a circle with my yarn, and then the top portion, or the top strand, bring under, and I like to just pull it through. And there's your slip knot. Then I take my needle and I slip it through and then tighten it. You don't want it too tight, but you do want it snug. And your slip knot is going to count as your first stitch. So now I'm going to show you how to cast on the rest of your stitches. The long tail you're going to want towards you, and then the strand that's still connected to your ball you're going to want towards the back. And then I take my left hand and I put my pointer and my thumb through the two strands, and with my other 3 fingers I grab both of these strands to hold underneath. And then using my pointer and thumb, I spread them apart and I kind of pull back and it makes a slingshot. And you'll notice I'm holding this slip knot with my right hand pointer finger just so it doesn't move around too much. Okay. After pulling back, you're going to bring the tip of your needle down to the base of your thumb, and you're going to pick up this strand of yarn. And then you're going to come up to your pointer finger, drawing down, grabbing this strand of yarn, and then you're going to slip it through this hole. And your thumb, you're just going to drop it out and then use it to tighten your yarn. And there's your second stitch. So let me show you that again. You're gonna make a slingshot. You're gonna come down, picking up this bottom strand of yarn, up to your pointer finger, grabbing this strand, and then through. And then you're gonna let it drop and tighten it up. And again, you don't want the stitches too tight, but you want them snug. See how they can still slide around? You want them to still be able to slide a little bit. Okay, let me show you again. Spreading them apart, then you're gonna come down, grabbing this bottom strand of yarn, up to your pointer, grabbing this strand, and then through, and tighten. And now we have 4 stitches. So let's keep going. We're going to come down, up, and then through, and tighten it up. Down, up, and through. It's going to feel weird at first, but the more you practice and the more you do it, the more natural it'll feel and you'll be able to do it a little bit faster. Down, up, and then through, letting your thumb fall out and tightening. Down, up, catching this strand, and then through, and drop. You'll see it creates a really nice braid on the bottom. And that's how you do a long tail cast on.